Let Dan and Brad take over. Hey guys, how's Wednesday going?
Scott, thank you very much for the intro. Brad, how about a little audio check from you?
Check 1, 2, 3. You sound good to me, big guy.
All right, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Wednesday Q&A. Today's going to be a philosophical, serious, but of course always fun Q&A session. Boy, do we have a lot to cover today. So without further ado, let's jump right to it. Okay, before we begin, and this is going to be a very, very important disclaimer for today, please be aware that nothing that is mentioned, Scott, Barry, or any other handsome people that work at Trade Ideas should be construed as investment advice. If you're looking for specific investment advice, this is not where to get it. We give suggestions and ideas for educational and informational purposes only. Very important for today's webinar, because again, we're going to go deep into the matrix, ladies and gentlemen. Let's dive. If you are not aware of why this is significant, you need to make yourself aware. There is a subreddit on Reddit called Wall Street Bets. Over 8 million people are on this subreddit. And the beauty of what has taken place over the last little while is that this wonderful subreddit has really exposed the criminality of the brokerage industry. And yes, I am completely honest when I tell you, for the most part, your brokers are not your friends. And specifically, one of the worst of them all is Robinhood. Because let's face it, they're the ones that invented free commission, and it's free for a reason. It's free because your friends at Citadel and Two Sigma, the HFT trading firms that pay for your order flow, they get to take a piece of the action. That's right, Neo. Your eyes hurt because you've never, ever used them. So there is literally a once-in-a-lifetime situation that's happening in the stock market right now, and it's a war between us, the little guys, and them. And it's time for everybody to pick a side, and I want to make sure you guys know what side you're dealing with right here. Trade Ideas, we have been working with the individual investors since our inception, since we learned from a prior existence. And by the way, Brad, I gotta tell everybody to do a little historical lore. If you go to our About section of our homepage, there's a little story that tells you a lot of how the history of Trade Ideas started. And by the way, Scott was with us way back then in the other venture as well. So we brought a lot of the good guys with us to Trade Ideas here. But the bottom line is this, and it's an important story for you guys to understand. We were in a venture capital funded company before Trade Ideas, and we really thought that we could bring the innovation of market access and direct access to the hedge funds. But to our surprise, we found out that the hedge funds had absolutely zero interest in our technology. And you may want to ask yourself, why is that? Well, we were pretty surprised because we had some of the best tools at that time, certainly. And what we realized was that the hedge funds don't trade like you do. They don't like to take risk. They pay for order flow, pay for insider information, and they don't like to put on trades unless they know the outcome. Okay, in other words, they cheat. They make money by cheating. So the reason that you're able to see, if you go to our homepage, this is exactly the image from the homepage, that we stand with the individual investor against the criminals like Robinhood and other brokers who restrict market access, and that's what's been happening. These people have literally turned off the spigot because the hedge funds are in panic mode right now. We're going to dive into it, but the reason your company, your friends at Trade Ideas are able to do this and tell you the truth is because we have not taken one red cent of venture capital dirty money. Okay,
We're not beholden to anybody.
We have not beholden to anybody. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys, our subscribers, are our venture capitalists. Okay, we rely on you, and we've had a profitable business from day one because we had to, because in the other business, we learned exactly what not to do. And again, if you really want to know the history of Trade Ideas, go to the About link and read that little story. It tells you a lot about what's happening right now, okay? I'm going to minimize the presentation. I'm going to jump right into the technology because, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to cover today. Okay, so Brad, please let me know if you're able to see my screen.
Yep, it looks good. I can see you're on the Short Squeeze channel, and I see your desktop.
Okay, the subreddit, the nasty big hell. We want to bring you real-time data, show you what's going on, and of course, as in detail evolves, I want to show you that we've done, you guys, when it comes to GameStop and why the whole market got broken because of them. But it's kind of a company, Cortex on, and somebody do know this fund, whoever it is that's short this company right here, Brad, are they feeling good or bad right now?
Well, it was a percent, which is a...
Doesn't know. When you short second, typically the insider price is going down and their jobs. And so price starts to go up, they're buying the stock back at higher. This is a battle and a war. Deep into why. Just educate yourself. Okay, so shorts that move in CRT, if I were you, take a look and what you see here is, let's assume these people were starting really getting paid off. I'm just going to put it right here, 50. And high frequency trading firms, Brad, they have the same initials. People that are short are really forced to move on to AM, whoever that be at all.
They're not.
Shorting has unlimited risk, which is why taking stocks to zero and a company of the stock is simply going. Once again, AMRS, keep it once again, 17% short. Okay, 10 is already done. Watching Netflix, you didn't write the script. Watch and do the makeup and all that stuff there. You're watching a show. Or Brad, as they say in our world, you're watching a movie. This is the same thing. As simple as pressing, not doing any research. These are 28, every single one. I showed you on this one how you can set a price alert for a target. It's ready to go. For example, Brad, check it out. You've got a 22% short float on a stock that's $3.25.72. Zero. Iran, you know, the shorts attacked it again, but I don't want to spend too much time on trying, but I'm just telling you that we have all of it. So if you bought in today and you're okay with, this is like the exit where the tide has turned. So you got two levels. Longer swing is getting long.
We really don't have too many hedge fund customers.
You pay. It's that bad. Blue pill slide. There is a war. That's not how they trade. Before I get into this one, Brad, because the positions, they're trying to maybe sneak around because they think you're stupid, and you're not. You have better data. You have it in real time. Okay. Look at this one. This is a beautiful. So look at this stock. I think 14 out of their course. Another one.
We're making new highs on that bottom alert window.
Right. With all the other components already, of course, has a large chance because I can't take it. You guys are beating me, so I have to sell just a little percent.
You said.
No, I was just saying, we're showing you how Sun Tzu Art of War, know your started. You think, forget the quants, okay? First of all, the bathroom duty for the hedge funds, okay? The guys that are making the decisions are backroom dealers, okay? Fat, dumb, and they just have connections. That's it, okay? They tell the quants to give them a Coke, you know, donut, go do some spreadsheeting. And by spreadsheeting, I mean spread cheating, okay? So here's a window on this channel called the biggest short float. And I'm gonna, first of all, show you that all the windows and trade ideas, you can move them around, you know, shrink them, custom. So I just expanded this one a little bit. Some of you might wanna ask yourself, how is it possible that 121% of a company's float is short? And Brad, by the way, you know, as you and I have dug into this question ourselves, we found out that the truth of the matter is, it is really 120%.
It really is 120%. They have the ability to go ahead and short more shares than are actually in the float. And I think that's what you're going to talk about with GameStop there and a few other stocks that have really been in the news lately.
Right. So the GameStop, again, I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you are witnessing a once in a life. I mean, I've been, you know, I hate dating myself, Brad, but, you know, I was about to say, you know, I used to listen to Rage the Machine, you know, that album Evil Empire. Then people were like, what the hell is he talking about? You know, I'm 50 years old. Guys, Brad and I have been doing this since the mid 90s. and Brent, you know that we have never ever seen this situation like in GameStop ever. This is a once in a lifetime situation that's happening right here. And
Unique scenario that's taking place right now.
right. What's happened is that the little guy has said, screw this. And through this subreddit, okay, through this subreddit on Wall Street Bets, and again, I encourage everybody to dive into it after we're done on this webinar at your own time and at your own leisure. On this subreddit, they've got some people who figured out that there's some shady shenanigans going on. Like, how the heck are you short 121% of the float? How is that legal? The answer is it's not. And what they've broken down is the fact that the SEC's complicit, all the brokers, you know, what happened was, as GameStop, let's just come over here. So a few hedge funds, primarily Melvin Capital, which really is a subdivision of the old SAC and whose name is now Point72, which is run by Steve Cohen. They started getting short a lot of this company because they wanted it to go to zero. Zero is their game. That's their end game, okay? And when the little guy got word of it, the little guys never had a forum to communicate with one another. But all of a sudden, people realized that on this Wall Street Bet subreddit, everybody was getting together and they banded together against the hedge funds and started buying through Robinhood, through evil Robinhood, okay, and getting long the stock and driving the price up. Why? How were they able to drive the price up so high? Well, it's very simple, ladies and gentlemen. There aren't that many natural shares to buy or sell. The float is only 51 million shares. So basically today at 41 million traded, almost 100% of the float, quote unquote, changed hands. Investigative, self-directed investors started to figure out that there was some cheating going on, some bullshit, okay? And what they realized was that while the little guy was buying, the hedge funds keep getting doubling down and tripling down on their short position, and they realize that the little guy actually controls the float. The float is this is this right here, and the float is how many shares are there available. And the truth of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, he that controls the float controls the outcome, okay? So look what happened to GameStop. As word spread on this subreddit, and that's why I'm telling you it's a once in a lifetime situation, because this is worldwide. I mean, if you dive in there like we have already, you see that there's investors from Egypt, Switzerland, Netherlands. Everybody is against these hedge funds, okay? And this thing started to tear up, okay, all the way to 500. So what did the hedge funds do? Well, they called their buddies at the broker dealer and said, hey guys, turn the machines off. That's right, trading places for anyone who's referring to here. Except instead of Randolph and Mortimer saying turn the machines back off, these guys are like, guys, turn the machines off. And literally, Robinhood, Interactive Brokers, E-Trade, TD Ameritrade, they all got on their knees, bowed to their masters, and prevented people on Thursday from entering any trades in in GameStop. You couldn't buy it. And do you know what they said? We did this because we were trying to help you.
They're protecting us.
That's right. They're protecting you guys. There's so much volatility with these meme stocks. We had to protect you, so we stopped you from being able to buy it. Can you believe this? Well, we couldn't, of course, and neither could the people on Wall Street Bets or anybody. And by the way, people are going to go to jail for this. Again, I don't know when, but they will. The point of the matter is that when they stopped people from buying, obviously, well, you know, momentum halted and what not to 220 now, but what's going to happen in this opinion, even Elon Musk weighed in on this thing, and it was pretty funny. But in my humble opinion, and this is not investment advice, but I believe GameStop is literally going to the moon. Okay, probably over $1,000. That is not investment advice of any kind. It's simply an educated opinion and guess, because the amount of people that are standing behind the individual investor and the amount of people that are against Robinhood and their masters at Citadel, and 0.72 is in the millions. And all you have to do, okay, all you have to do is go to Wall Street Bets and see the amount of people that are on this subreddit. It is quite the incredible thing to see, watch, and observe. Okay, so this is, again, this is your first stop to playing that as an observer of the market, a participant in the market. I'm just telling you that we've never seen it, and we are on the side of GameStop, and we are against the criminals of the hedge funds and Robinhood. Okay, so with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch screens and kind of show you a little bit of, like, number one, some of the things that I do, and explain what I'm doing, how you can do the same thing, and we'll go from there. Okay, so first of all, is everyone, once again, now that I've switched to this new channel called Whopper, okay, and Whopper stands for War Operation Plan and Response. It's from a fantastic movie called War Games. Remember, we're a little bit older than you guys, possibly. And that's where we get some of our names, from stuff that we love. So Whopper is a advanced channel that allows you to do something no other brokerage allows you to do. And I'm going to walk you through what I'm doing, but I'm also going to show you, I mean, many of you, okay, many of you here, this is not your first rodeo for our Q&A webinar. You've been here before, okay? So what I'm showing you is two Brokerage Plus windows. Brokerage Plus is how we interface with the market, and the brokerage that we use specifically right now that's available to everyone is Interactive Brokerage. I'm not saying that they're great, they're right along there with the rest of them, but they give you access and possibly a little bit less evil than Robinhood. Robinhood is the most evil, in my humble opinion. So you can see right here, Brokerage Plus, and when I click here, it tells you who I'm connected to on this menu. I'm connected to Interactive Brokerage, and I'm connected to our simulated trading environment. This window right here, this is an account number, and so this is live money, real money, no fake, no paper trading right here. And this is the simulated trading. I'm going to show you what I do, how I caught some of the things that I catch, and why, again, I'm still working to improve my trading all the time, and how I use our technology to do it. So first of all, as I've said before, if you've watched our Q&A, Brad, this isn't our first rodeo. How long have we been showing and talking about CCIB? Probably for the last month.
Yeah, I'd say for the last month. It's been one of the stocks that you've talked quite a bit about. Of course, you haven't told anybody to buy it because we don't give advice, but yeah, we've definitely been talking about it.
Right, but in my opinion, if you are not really doing it, how can you create technology for people that do it? And this is kind of what separates us from the other vendors, is that the founders of Trade Ideas have never stopped doing what it is that they did to get themselves to become founders. Okay, we continue to trade, myself, Brad, and almost, half of the people on the support side actually put money in the market and trade, because we use our own technology, we're improving our own technology all the time, and that's the only way we come up with new ideas to give to you, our venture capitalists, to help you succeed and beat the market makers and the hedge funds at their own game. So one of the ways that we do this, okay, is by showing you that our simulated trading environment and our actual trading environment is the same, okay? The same. What that means is that if you're practicing, and I'm going to again talk about what I do in the practice and how I do it, but when you practice on simulated trading, notice these screens, okay? Same screen. When you take this to real money, you're going to see the exact same results. There's no, there's no hidden bells and whistles. That's the whole idea. And by the way, our simulated trading has literally exploded in terms of practice volume, because people realize simulated trading is like the driving range for a professional golfer. Brad and I have also said this umpteenth times, but Tiger Woods didn't win the Masters by just only playing golf. He works at the range all the time. Little things that you would not even could imagine that he's trying to improve. Okay, this is what you do in simulated trading mode, but I'm going to open your eyes to something that I do, because I'm going to show you how did I get into CCIV at $10.53. And by the way, this is my entry price. Again, remember, this is the real account. So you can see I'm up almost 200% on this trade, Brett. Right? Am I doing my math right?
Which one, on CCIV?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, well, of course, look, you got in at $10, right? And it's now trading 29.
Correct. And Todd, yeah, I mean, listen, the SPACs, there's all sorts of rumors back and forth about, you know, what is or isn't going to happen. And the bottom line is that, look at my gains. Okay, I have $32,000, okay, in gains in this position, and it's got to breathe a little bit. That's the bottom line. Okay, took it 10%. It was up from 26 to 34 yesterday. Okay, these things come out, and a lot of times, by the way, all the rumors and these news, they're actually, again, put out by hedge fund buddies at places like Citron and others, where it's a bunch of bullshit, but they don't want you to win. They don't want you to be in it. They want to be in it. Okay, they want to drive it down so that they can get it cheaper. And there's no problem with them sending bullshit news articles about things and, you know, having you panic. And that's where they take advantage. So again, I don't buy any of the news. Okay, I don't. And that's what the same thing that happened with people on Wall Street Bets. They figured out that this GameStop theory that it's going to zero is bullshit. Okay, and the analysts are all comp. So I want to show you, how did I find CCIV at $10? Okay, that's what I want to show you. And I did it the following way. See over here, I have and this is the difference between, you know, just going right along or taking your game to the next level. Most people would never even contemplate having two account windows open in one layout, which is of course why we created it for you. It's called the Whopper. Okay. And by the way, look at my trading today, just so you can see the P&L. It went, let's see, almost up 5,000, down 5,000. Then when Kodak started to run, and by the way, again, if you've been following me, you know I've been holding this Kodak since 8/32. And look at where it went today. This thing is going to go. I mean, in my humble opinion, that's how I'm trading it. Okay. So keep an eye on Kodak. I've been talking about that forever. And you've been seeing it. So you can see my total P&L. You can see what it is that I'm doing, how I'm doing it. But the CCIV came across my eyes from this window right here. And I have a window here where I look at SPAC companies, and we're going to go to that channel after I'm done explaining it. SPAC are specialty acquisition companies, blank check companies. And I caught one that I actually caught two amazing ones in a different trading account. One is Diamond Peak Holding Company, which turned into RIDE, and another one which symbol I forget, but they turned into this one.
Yeah, I think Ride had a good day today as well.
Yeah, Ride was very good today, and this one was another one where I'm up over 100%. Because again, I actually manage and trade my own 401k, which I suggest you do as well if you're comfortable doing some of that. You might not be. Again, it's just my opinion. But the point is, trade ideas in terms of its functionality allows you to do some things that a lot of people don't know. So we have this thing called the strategies tab over here. Okay, and I have a strategy right here called blank check, where this strategy looks at various blank check companies, and it's not complicated. I'm not trying to win it on the strategy, so I don't really have it back tested or anything like that, because I'm going to show you what I'm doing here. Edit trading strategy. So I'm looking at new highs, some pullbacks, some other like reversals, and I'm buying them. Okay.
Specifically, you probably have this assigned to a symbol list, looking at the acquisition company, blank check companies, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And you can assign automated trading um, to symbol lists. By the way, Brad, is it Georgia sound or is that, I'm still audible? Right?
Yeah, I think it's George. He probably needs to restart. I still hear your audio. It hasn't cut out for me, so I'm assuming most people are in the same boat.
So I've got this strategy here, right? And this strategy is basically just looking at various SPACs and without getting emotional on being right, because I'm in simulated mode, it gets in and I see them up here. And then what happens is I watch the P&L. And that is how I spotted CCIV. It got in, and I actually really like the price level of around like between 10 and $12, $13, like somewhere between 10 and 15 for these SPACs, because again, that's where I caught the one that turned into ride, and that's where I caught the one that turned into lazy. Okay, so I saw this CCIV, and once I got in, and again, these shares, you can assign whatever you feel comfortable, dollar amounts, shares. Remember, this is simulated. But what's amazing about this aspect of trade ideas and the simulated trading is there's nothing more emotionally tying a trader than P&L. Like obviously FTOC, by the way, was an incredible one, okay, where the strategy caught it right on these pullbacks. And the only reason I'm not in it is because of buying power. I'm actually kind of tied up all my buying power because all the brokers got restricted our buying power.
So you can actually see where you got into that. That blue line takes you right to that bar that you got in, right? It was over to your left, even more, right? Wherever it ends, right there. Yeah, that long one, that wide range bar is when he got in. And you can see that over the next couple of days, it pulled back, ironically, right to that very same level. But that's how stocks move and breathe.
Right, and that's why we tell people, the key here is not to get all emotional and crazy about it, but rather be able to see your P&L evolve. And same thing with this one, right? I caught this one right here, ran up, pulling back, and again, Jaws, Spitfire acquisition. So I'm watching all these SPACs, and I'm using P&L from this strategy right here, okay, to guide me into entering the ones that look good. I guarantee you that nobody, no other vendor is using this concept at all because these people aren't your friends, unfortunately. Okay, I don't know of any other fintech vendor that isn't that doesn't have venture capital. I mean, we don't, but others, even TradingView is funded by some VCs. So that's the difference between us and them, where the rubber hits the road. Okay. So once again, yes, is this pleasant? No. But guys, this is the bigger picture. So, don't panic. And again, size here is what's key. And obviously, because I entered right here, I've got size that's manageable. Okay. Thank you, Fabian. We really appreciate that. We love our software too and our engineers. We've got a pretty large staff of engineers that are out there engineering, Brad, away. And we're continuing, there's no finish line. We're constantly looking to improve the technology and help you take it to the next level. But I wanted to, on this Q&A, I'm just trying to show you. So, who is going to show you this methodology where you're simulated trading in one area and through watching your simulated P&L, because that's a real dollar amount, right? You're much more likely to respond to it in real life, okay? That's the beauty. Much more likely to respond in real life to dollars versus just FYI or something else, because unless you've got a dollar attachment to something, it doesn't trigger your emotions the same way, okay? It really doesn't. So let me go from here. And like I said, if you've never done this, this is a little bit of an expert type of a move, but just that, you're on the Q&A webinar, we show you all sorts of different kinds of things. So this is the expert level stuff. This is where the advanced people do it. So we do have, so I'm on a development version of Trade Ideas, and of course a development version that we test lots of different things. The next brokerage that's coming online is most likely E-Trade, and I've jumped the gun a couple of times. I'm thinking it was ready, and and it turned out that it wasn't. But E-Trade's probably going to be the next one. And again, I apologize that I get a little too excited about it because I know how much people want zero commission trading. I get it completely. E-Trade's the next one to come online. We found some issues with the TD Ameritrade API that's preventing us from releasing that. Their data is slow, unfortunately. Isn't that amazing? Because again, these people don't care. They're not your friends. So but we are working hard to create more and more zero commission brokerage options, including possibly this alpaca one, which we've been discussing. It's almost ready, but interactive brokers, not a zero commission. E-Trade about to be launched, zero commission. TD Ameritrade is to be determined. Okay. Fabian, we don't have Questrade because again, we don't have the Canadian relationship with them right now. So let me go back down here and switch. So I'm going to move this window so that you guys don't see it in the background. And I'm going to switch to this channel. So the SPAC channel. Okay. This is a channel. What are SPACs and why is this important for you, the individual investor? Well, SPACs are basically a new type of IPO game. And what's happening is companies, instead of having to suck up to Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley and all the other disgusting investment bankers, they're buying shell companies that are already publicly traded and then merging with them. So that's what a SPAC is. It's a shell that will then merge and change its symbols. Okay, we update the symbol list, and you can kind of see like what's in play by going here. And like some of the news, not every SPAC is going to work out, but the point is that we are at the very least going to bring them to your attention. And once again, you have a channel here that does it all. Like, you don't have to configure it. You can sort it by relative volume. You can see, well, which SPACs are up. And remember, I told you there's kind of some sweet price points where sometimes it's limited. Here's another one. If you look at a profile, I don't know how this one got in there, Brad. Maybe it hasn't changed yet. Not sure. But these companies are the ones that are going to go public once they merge with the privately held company and hopefully, again, start becoming the new IPO. Randy, no, that information does not happen until it actually happens. Okay, so there's no such thing as well, these companies have or haven't. SPAC companies come out, you suspect that all SPACs have only come to market because there's already a contemplation of a merger. See what I'm saying? Because otherwise it's just a complete waste of time. So every SPAC already has a company that it intends to go public with. Whether it succeeds or not, we will see. And going back to this CCIV, it'll bounce all over the place. There's some negative news will come out quickly. Okay, and like I said, I suggest to you, ladies and gentlemen, do not trust the news. Okay, especially in the stock market, most of that is fake. So we also, of course, have the Trade Ideas artificial intelligence. And what this is another example of a fantastic way for you to learn things, learn how to trade, learn how to manage risk. And the AI does both long and short because again, we want to, and encourage you to at least know and understand how this works, even though you don't have to short yourself, but at least you can understand what it is that we're trying to do. And unlike the hedge funds, we are never trying to take stocks to zero. We're just looking for taking advantage of the downside move and trying to do it legally, okay? So every day you've got ideas that come out. There's a trade time. There's all sorts of rules visually in place where you can see there's stops, there's targets. Here's, again, just a beautiful move. Buy signal right here, sell signal right there. Obviously, not everyone works out that way, but this is what we're trying to do. You learn by experiencing, and you learn by watching, and this is something in premium mode that you can set to automatic and kind of watch it the way I was watching my two Brokerage Plus windows. So you can have Trade Ideas Holly, trade in simulated mode at the top, and if something's working out, you can try to get in it, just like I did with CCIB. This is, what we do. And we're constantly working on the algorithms, the AI, while I'm speaking and talking to you about this amazing stuff in GameStop and how corrupt the hedge funds are. The AI didn't care. It's right now in our server room crunching all this data, going through every single trade of the stock market to find a statistical advantage for tomorrow. And like the card counters in Vegas, having a statistical advantage doesn't mean that it's going to work. It just means that it's better than not having one. It's that simple. So Tatton, yes, this is, again, this buy signal happened in real time. Okay, it happened, it's identified. So guys, you're watching it. We don't want to make it too complicated. Okay, I'm just giving you an example. This is California time. So add 3 hours at 10:56 in Eastern Standard Time. There was your entry signal, and the price was 1763. It's right here, and this was your sell signal. Okay, so all of this is in real time. You identify it all in real time through our technology.
Yeah, and that window right there, the strategy trades window, when you start off at the beginning of the day, market open, it's completely blank. And we have no idea, it has no idea what it's going to be triggering. And then in real time, when these signals occur, it's going to present you with that signal right there, that buy signal or that short signal.
Correct. And Tatton, and this is for everybody, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Ladies and gentlemen, the Q&A webinar is where you get to speak to the CEO, the COO, and really kind of jump into the corporate feel of the company and hopefully understand what we're about. But we have tons of education. This actually kind of brings me, since we're almost done today, this brings me to the segue of the next part of the presentation. There's something that separates us from the rest of the vendors. And what it is that we actually have to make money to survive, and instead of getting money from some fat cat and then trying to screw over the individual investor. We've been on the Inc. 5000 list, going to be 5 years, but 4 years in a row. And there's a reason for it, because there's no technology like ours in that space. Zero, none, zero. You're not going to find it on TradingView. You're not going to find it on FinViz, Reuters, Bloomberg. It's not going to happen. The only place you have our technology is at Trade Ideas. And the way that we succeed so much is because we have an incredible support infrastructure that's in place to help you get acquainted with it. For one thing, we have a fantastic trading room that's moderated by our partner, Barry Anderson, who's a member of the Trade Ideas team. Every Monday, from Monday to Friday, Barry's in there kicking butt in the market, showing you how to do things, putting on trades in simulated mode and in real trading. And there's a meritocracy of at least 300 people there all the time that help each other take their trading to the next level. So if you're just kind of, stumbling around, I really suggest you go to Barry's trading room at trade-ideas.com.
And he does share all of those strategies that he uses, those Windows setups that he has. So yeah, he's very generous with that.
Yeah, again, we provide a lot of information to help everybody get started, like how to trade with the different aspects of the market. We have a free ebook right now called Earnings, how to trade with earnings at trade-ideas.com/earnings. earnings. But here's the real key right here, and this relates to Tan's question. If you're having any kind of difficulty, the only thing that you need to do is simply sign up to a support session, and we have like a college level curriculum at Trade Ideas that goes through all aspects of the software. From the very, very beginning, like, hey, guys, how do I turn this thing on? To writing scripts and taking your AI to the next level and all sorts of things. Again, sort of like Adobe Photoshop, you can take Trade Ideas as far as you need to because it's incredibly powerful, but it doesn't have to be complicated because as I showed you, you can simply go to the channel bar. Everything's been done for you. It's constantly updated by our support team to make sure that we're relevant as per the short squeeze information and GameStop. So for all of our subscribers, all you have to do is go to trade-ideas.com/live and sign up for that support. Chris, thank you very much. We appreciate that. We are successful because we're creators of our own tech. We don't use Oracle bullshit, SAP bullshit, IBM bullshit. We make it all from scratch ourselves. And although we charge monthly and annually, just take a look at how much our software costs per day. At $7.50 a day premium without any discount, you are talking about $2,200 for the year for forward client-facing AI, all of this support. And I got to tell you, and I say this every Q&A, you can't afford $2,200 a year for AI with real-time data. Trading might not be for you. Okay, honestly, and you know, if this is your stumbling block, I'm helping you out. Don't do it. You just don't have the money, and we don't want to take it if you don't have it. Brad, give me a clap right now. I know.
Seven?
No, I'm teasing. I heard a golf clap, and yeah. Thank you. No applause. No applause. But no, we don't want your money if you can't afford it. But we do provide discounts. Like for example, today for attending this fantastic Q&A webinar, you get 15% off your first month or a year of Trade Ideas. Promo code is opportunity. You can always upgrade from standard to premium and include these promo codes, I believe. So this is just an understanding that we're not expensive, okay? You don't want free crap. That's the venture capital way. That's the communist way, okay? You want to get what you're paying for, and you're getting amazing technology, and if it was free, then it would suck. So that's the high level. We, of course, do podcasts run by our good friend Sean McLaughlin, team member of Trade Ideas, who has lots of guests and other things. It used to be me, but I got kicked out of there for some reason. I don't know what happened. You know, I'm dangerous, Brad. You know, you don't want to let me in your customers.
You're banned from everything.
I'm banned from everything. Banned from all social media and
except for the Wednesday QA.
Except for the Wednesday, guys. This is it. It's the only place I get to talk to people. And they put me back in my cage. Okay, but I love you guys. That's why That's why I'm here. So I love talking to the customers. I'm the CEO, and I get to do this. I'm so pumped that I can interact with our real subscribers and really tell you like it is. We're very easy to get a hold of, and of course, while I've been banned from all social media and stuff like that, not every member of Trade Ideas has. We've got a couple of active social media accounts at Trade Ideas, at QuantBot, at Today Trader, and of course, although I never go there, please like us on Facebook. And if you need anything, feel free to always reach out through our email, info@trade-ideas.com, or our phone number, where you will be able to talk to a representative. So yeah, this is it, I think, Scott.
Yeah, that does it. That wraps it up. So everyone can stay tuned tomorrow for an email from GoToWebinar with a link to the playlist where you can find this recording if you missed anything. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Brad. Check you on the next one.
Guys, take care.
Have a good one. Bye.